Welcome to r/Tales from Tech Support, where we get to have a little chuckle at the technologically disadvantaged. Like me. I'm Uncle Reddit, and have I got a story for you. Well, I think we've decided on a name, at least temporarily. I think we're going to go with Karina, for obvious reasons.
Was it something I said?
When they can't tell the difference. I'm just your average guy, and my dad needed some help. Of course I'd help. The issue was that his banking application disappeared from the taskbar. Okay, not the first time he called me when something just vanished from the taskbar. I don't like working with that machine because a toaster has more computing power. Opening anything makes that thing unresponsive for 30 seconds, but I'm just going to put it back quickly. And nope. The app was somehow bugged and wouldn't start, and it didn't show up in Task Manager. Nothing a quick PC restart won't fix. Yeah, that toaster isn't your latest rig. Just restarting that piece of crap took about 3/4 of an hour. And Windows updates didn't speed up the process, and it didn't even help at all. Now an hour had passed and I didn't make any progress. The old man had long since lost patience and started to watch his sports game, but unbeknownst to me, that did turn out into my favor. He stopped looking over my shoulder. After some more fruitless troubleshooting, I made the decision to just reinstall the program. Uninstall and reinstall. Wait, where are the original downloaded files? Damn, his downloaded folder is empty. I go to the bank's website and voila, there are only mobile app files and none for Windows. They discontinued their application for desktops. I was out of options now. The original files are gone and I can't get the new ones, so I had to gamble on my dad's ineptitude. I created a Chrome shortcut to the bank's homepage and started praying. My dad clicked the shortcut and the app started. He couldn't tell them apart. Yeah, sometimes they're just better off not knowing. I found that with older people, as long as the end result is the same and everything functions, all the details just muck things up.
Watch your language, doughboy.
I said muck. We're going to have to turn your volume back up a little bit. You need what? Customer loses install media. This is another tale from a while ago. My company had sold a computer system to a military base about 4 hours driving from my main base. No problem, I didn't have to visit often, maybe once or twice a year. Then the customer needed the system relocated into a different building. Your tax dollars at work. I had to make a visit to inspect the new building, estimate the cost for moving, all that jazz. Anyway, I managed this project and we got paid a lot to do it, so everyone was happy. Then something happened. Several months after we did the relocation, the System V Unix running a very small mini computer, died. Our help desk folks were able to figure out it was probably the hard drive, only one in this system, so they called me. We all figured out when I could get there. A replacement drive was shipped, all good. I had an extensive conversation with the customer that we need their backup tapes, duh. Plus the OS tape that came with the system, along with some extra tapes that had additional packages that we required. I was assured they had everything. They even had a safe that they kept all the tapes in. I got up early the next day and did the 4-hour drive, got to the new building, unboxed the new drive, and had it installed in less than an hour. Hardware was not the most repair-friendly design. I then asked the customer for the tapes. They hand me a stack of their application backups. Okay, we'll need those later. Where are the tapes with the OS? The ones that came with the system? Blank stares. They checked the safe. Not there. They had not unpacked all the boxes for moving into the new building, so they start tearing into these. I call the help desk. Is there anything we can do? Nope. Need the tapes. Customer spends a couple hours digging through boxes, calling people who are not there and asking them, bickering about whose job it was to pack things up. I'm kind of stuck. The disk installed is raw, no way to boot at all except off a tape. No floppy or opticals on this system. Your choice of SCSI devices only, which you can select during the post. Finally, the customer throws up their hands. They have no idea where the tapes are. I'm on the phone with the support folks. What do we do? Make them buy a new set? How long will that take? My support buddy finally just says he'll make a copy from tapes he has in the office. He knows which ones I need. We don't know if we're allowed to do this, but we're in a jam. I find out where the nearest airport is, a city an hour away. He'll copy the tapes and get them on a plane to me. I tell the customer what the deal is. They're really grateful. Hop in my car and drive to the airport. Find the air freight office. Package has not arrived. I take a seat and read a book. At last, the plane lands. They hand me my package. I rip it open and confirm I have tapes. My support buddy, great guy, has come through. Back in my car and race back to the base. Boot off the OS tape. Hooray, it works. I have to actually partition the drive, entering various geometry factors, then format it, then install the OS. And it works. I reboot off the disk. All good. Install optional software from the other tapes. Various sysgen and reboots required. Finally, reinstall my company's application files, plus customers' database. Now it's way too late to drive home. Spent the night in a motel and headed home the next day after checking in with the customer. All good. I don't know what we did about replacing the tapes. I didn't have to deal with that. I'm guessing we just let them keep the copies. Worked in an office once where we had regular desktop PCs, all tied into the company network. We had access to local stuff on our PCs plus network stuff, but stuff for the local office that we needed, the floppies and CDs for those, my boss just kept in the corner on a chair. And after my first year of working there, I went into his office one day, and the chair had a mountain of crap on it that had sort of slid onto the floor, and it looked like a digital avalanche, really. That was how he stored his important stuff.
Sounds familiar.
Mine's not that bad. Can't connect to remote desktop. A few weeks ago it was my turn to be on call. Our current implementation is crap, as calls don't actually seem to be going to our phones like they should. So I have a habit of just manually checking my email and messenger throughout the day while I'm scheduled to be on call. That Sunday I awoke and found an email from someone who called the support line saying that she couldn't access the remote server because there was an error. I called her immediately. The call took place about an hour before I checked when I woke up, and the user picked up the phone. Me. Hi, this is Little Wing from Company IT returning your call for after-hour support. Are you still having difficulty accessing the remote server? User. Yes, I am. Thanks for calling me back. Me. What seems to be the issue? User. There seems to be this error that won't let me log in. Me. What does the error say? User. Hold on and let me try again. I bring up the remote tool so I can remote in with her to view her screen. She accepts my invitation to share screen, and I watch as she opens the remote desktop app and tries to log in. User. See? That's the error right there. I start reading. Don't remember the exact phrasing of the error, but it went along the lines of it not wanting to connect because it needed an update. Me. Okay, can you close that window for me? Once the error window was closed, there was a light blue banner on the remote desktop window that said, Update to the latest version of remote desktop. Me. Do you see that blue banner? Have you tried clicking that and letting it update? User. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that. User clicks the banner and remote desktop begins updating. We wait about 2 minutes at most for it to finish. Me. Now, can you please try to connect again? User clicks to connect again and it lets her in. I stay on just to verify that she's connected and then end the call. So I'm guessing the user wasn't actually closing that error window, and just there must have been something on that window that said try again or something. That's the only thing I can figure, because if you close that window, the other thing should have popped right up and been right there in your face. But I get it. There's things that I miss too. For a long time I had a cluttered desktop. I've still got too many tabs open, too many apps running. Now I've got all that junk running plus some more, and on 2 monitors, so I'm already old enough that I'm starting to forget stuff. This isn't going to help. I really didn't mean to do that. I obtained my certified Novell administrator qualification for Novell NetWare 3 way back when the servers booted into MS-DOS before loading NetWare. I was a systems supervisor, job title, for the UK offices of a South Korean container shipping company. I worked out of the office in the port of Felixstowe, Suffolk. The network was a Novell 3.11 server Intel 80386 with a whopping 1 GB hard drive. Oh wow. That took care of about 45 workstations running MS-DOS/Windows for Workgroups 3.11, connected on coax cable runs. Oh man, I remember that. About a year into the job, and head office gifted us with an upgrade to NetWare 4.1, a CD install. No more swapping out of 25 3-inch floppies for an installation, and I was overjoyed. This network was going to be so easy to manage once the installation was complete. As there was only one server, I stayed late after everyone had signed out and left for the day. Step 1. Insert MS-DOS Disk 1 and proceed to format the hard drive and install MS-DOS. Step 2. Insert CD containing NetWare 4.1 and run setup.exe. Step 3. Configure the installation once NetWare was installed. Everything was going as planned. Network volumes set up, printers, print queues created, user login scripts and network shares created. Just have the users and usernames to create and I'll be done in no time. Started creating usernames as the first letter of the first name and then the last name. Then about halfway through ran into a problem when several users had the same last name and first letter of the first name happened to be the same. Can't have this. What to do? I'll just use a different naming protocol. That's what I'll do. Started to delete each username individually, but then thought that's going to take more time to finish. I know, I'll just use the old wildcard, asterisk, so I won't have to fully type each username. Might as well start with the A's. Go into the user directory and type del A asterisk period asterisk and hit enter. As I did, I suddenly remembered the user directory also contained the username for the system administrator. Happens to be admin. I just deleted the only way to manage and create and delete anything on the server. I had a fully functional network 4.1 server and absolutely no way to do anything with it. Ouch. Only recovery option available, insert MS-DOS disk 1 and reboot, start all over again. I managed to get it all completed and running by the time day shift arrived the next morning. Yeah, I learned early on to save and save often, and I know that's not really what this one's about. This guy just made a mistake and wiped out the admin access, but along the same lines, I took a class, 2005 I'm thinking, CAD, beginner's CAD program. I was working on a project, creating, I don't know, some kind of spec sheet for a bolt or something, it gave the thread pitch and depth and all that stuff and the diameter. And not only was I not saving, but I made some mistake which wiped everything out on the screen and I couldn't even undo. I don't remember what I did, but man, I fouled everything. And it wasn't a huge project, but it was supposed to be turned in like in a half hour from when I did all this. So yeah, needless to say, my grade wasn't great on that one. The box is dead. Long live the box. We were doing a server swap at work. A bunch of production systems going from one server to another, overnight. All hands are on deck at midnight, except your humble correspondent, because I'm not on the server team. I'm doing remote support. I roll in at 8 a.m. to complete the one important task assigned to me. Change the IP address on this legacy comms device so that it points to the new server, or else certain crucial systems will stop working. I did this 6 months ago during the first swap. It's not complicated. I find the beige metal box in the server room and note the outdated labels on it. Notably configured 8/5/2004. The flickering LCD display tells me that it's processed 0 bytes of data since the last reboot 6 months ago. Well, if it works, I guess. These things are important. Someone would complain if they stopped working. A few minutes later, I get an email that says they're not seeing the connection. Have I completed the configuration? Well, I thought I did. I go back to the server room, double check, then triple check. Yep, all good. Server guys tell me to stand by for further instructions, so I wait a bit, then get an email from the server team. This system was switched over to external solution provider a few months ago. You can e-waste this device. Oh, perfect. At least I didn't have to come in at midnight to find that out. I know it was probably old, outdated, and useless, but it still hurts me a little when, people talk about e-waste.
Me too.
I still got my dad's old laptop in a drawer right down here on my desk, and I don't know if I'll ever use it again, but I can't bring myself to throw it out. What about you guys? You guys collect old tech and tons of adapters and wires and chargers? Let me know in the comments down below. User thinks I'm with the FBI. Okay, so the title might be a little exaggerated, but this week I was called by one of our most impatient users who wanted me to track down a random person via their cell phone. She just insisted I can somehow do this to a point where it was difficult to even respond. We were like 5 seconds into the call. I barely understood who's on the phone, and she was already reading out this phone number at full speed, faster than I could type or even realize what this is. I told her to slow down, and she explained that this number has been calling her work phone and she wants to know who this is and make them stop. Her words, lol. She obviously answered the phone. According to her, no one was there, or it hung up instantly. Yeah, I can see how that's annoying. That's all good, except for the fact that I have absolutely no system that could look this up. I don't even think this is possible for private individuals and companies without help from the ISP or some court order or something. She was just seriously overestimating our abilities and kept asking for the unknown caller's name. I said, if it's not one of ours, company provided mobile, I can't even find it and can't do anything with this random phone number. I can Google it and hope it's a known spam. Look at the menus on the phone and walk her through blocking this number, but no. She kept interrupting me, demanded I tell her who this is. So in her mind, I just typed this in and up comes the name and address of the caller. I wasn't even done explaining how I don't have this info when she hung up. Probably angry that I didn't help her because I'm so lazy and incompetent. Well, man, there are some real wackos out there. And I know she was crazy because she didn't give the guy a chance to respond. And the little bit she did hear him respond was she argued with. Lithium is our friend. Hey, if you get a chance, do me a favor. Click on one of these videos here. I think you'll enjoy them. And if you haven't already, do me a favor and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell icon so you don't miss the fat guy and Karina reading your stories.
I hate you.
See ya.